Alrighty, so we close out week 7 and we start week 8. And I'm actually doing this at the end of the week 7, right? So these items were just completed last night and we're starting into our week 8. And we continue doing hands-on assignments related to Project Zero. So it's time really to focus in this week, and I show you how to do some more compression and you build out your pages. And again, this will be a little, depending on how involved your template is, because obviously yours and mine is not going to be the same. So, this is where when you need extra help, now's the time to come reach out to me, because I'm going to say it one more time, right? I leave on the 11th, right? So I will be there on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, but after that I will be gone. So it is during this week that you really want to come see me. I've already had one student come talk to me, which is great, about their template and how to build out pages. So if that is any bit of a challenge for you, you need to come see me. Now, a couple of you have not converted your single page sites into file base, so I've been leaving comments, and if you're not sure what that is, you need to be pinging in with me. I'm going to show you progress I've made since recording these videos, because I recorded them last weekend. And this weekend I actually hope to finish out the content. We'll see if that happens, because I have some other work I actually got to get a talk ready for, and this is going to be the last time I announce this. So I've had a couple of you already ask me about Valley Dev Fest. Tickets are officially out. I've been sending, if for some reason you sent me a message saying you'd like one and I haven't responded back, then just ping me again. I thought I had gotten everybody, but it is time to get your tickets. So again, they cost $15, but if you'll send me an email through Canvas, I will send you a form to sign up to get a free code. And the schedule's out, right? So we have a schedule of what's going to be covered: network security, Google technology. These are all the Google folks speaking. And then one other person in there. And this is the Spanish track, the Makers track, which is going to be so fun. I get to work on that this weekend with a friend. The Flutter Code Lab, machine learning. This is actually my talk right here. So now's the time if you want to come, okay? So last I left you, on my site, I was just building out, and you will see this. So this is kind of like, shooting the end of the movie at the beginning, so to speak. So when you watch the videos in this week, I show you how to build out, right? You should already have already got a good start on building your menu. I had you outline it this week 7. So coming into week 8, you want to then connect these pages into actual pages, these menus into actual pages. And then I'm going to show you how because I want to give you this kind of thinking about it, how I then handled one of my landing pages, and what I mean by this is one of my menu pages. So because the file directory, the files are just, file listings. It's really how you link them from your menu, and then your menu into the menu page, I would call it, and then the sub pages into that. And it's really, it will make your life so much easier if you really think through how you're going to do this and update, making sure that all your pages have the correct links before you start doing these copying. Because what you end up with here is quite a few files. And if you have to go back and copy and paste stuff later, that's okay too, right? But just know that the more you've kind of really given this some time, the easier it's going to be. So what I ended up doing is I started building out my life menu page, and so I was thinking about different ways I could then link my sub pages. And some of you, based on all of you on your template, will have to figure out how to then link to your sub pages. So I think I thought I had one more. I was already working on it. I must not have completed it. But so in this vein, I decided I would have little thumbnails that also you could get to either by rolling over or by clicking. And so then it takes me to another page, right? So each of these are pages that then talks about this topic. And I have some more writing to do here, right? But if I go back, then I can do the food. And so I'll talk something about the food because I am mostly vegan. And then I'll talk about my bunny rabbit, right? So at least I got these built out, because again, the more you think through this, right? So this is all linked from my life. So in other words, you want to have three or I would say 4 or 5, based on the fact that if I have, again, I've talked about 4 menu items, you need 20 pages. The index pages would be considered your 21st. And so, if some of these will vary based on how many I do, right? So if I do 5 times 4 is 20, actually it'd be, right? So it'd actually be 5 in that case. 5 times 4 is 20. Yeah, I'd need 5. I'd need 5 subpages for each one, unless I decided maybe I wanted to have 4 on one and 6 on another, right? But if you do 5 menu options, then you have less subpages you have to do, which is often people think you need, they're like, oh no, I'm going to do less up here. Well, sometimes it's better to do more, because then you only have to think about a sub-organization on those topics. But this was just one idea. The other thing I ended up doing was I had to look at my CSS, and I just want to show you this, right? Because on my page, and you'll notice this when you have your CSS, they're going to do a min CSS. Now this is going to be minification, which means it gets rid of all these spaces. And that's great when you actually go to deploy out to a commercial site, because it adds some speed, because it gets rid of the spaces, because humans like the spaces, computers don't need them. So I decided to change my page for now back to the just regular CSS. So, and this is my template CSS, right? So here's just the styles for, right? And this is actually the styles I'd had before, so I need to get rid of that. So this is my template CSS. And then I had to figure out a way to, for each page, have that background image. So it took me a little bit. I had to really think about it. I had to think about how I could do it. And I ended up, because I figured out how they were doing a section, and then CTA, I think it's contact, and then I ended up doing just another, and in this case it reads it as a class. So I can show you then how I'll show you like in food, I have it up. So then, and again, this is a lot of code to look at, so it's hard to see it, but I ended up doing just 2 classes in order to change that background image. Right? So that's the kind of stuff, if you're trying to do, and you're not that specific thing, but how are you trying to make your menu / navigation work, or how do you want it to work? Right? That's the kind of stuff this week is really, really important. And again, important because if you need help, it's time to come see me. And you can, I'm in the office. Actually, I think, let's see, I'm pretty sure. Let's go see real quick. I put my office hours, so a good time to confirm that here. Oh, actually, I give you my menu, or my calendar, right? So I had code reviews this week. I still have a few more to do, but normally I have an office hour on Monday at noon. I have an office hour on Tuesday at 1, office hour on Wednesday at 1. I have office hour at noon on Wednesday, 1. And then I have another one on Friday. I actually am in the lab. I'm holding an open lab for 63, which is Java. And so this week I had a department meeting, but luckily I won't next week. Right, so if I scroll forward, that's actually a little better, a little more indicative of a normal week. So think about that. If you need something outside of that, you need to be contacting me, because life fills up pretty quick, and especially this coming week before I leave, because I also have to get my talk ready for DevFest. So anyway, just giving you a heads up, showing you some of the stuff that I ended up doing. I need to continue working on it. I'm not sure, I will build out at least quite a bit of this, but I'm just showing you enough of what progress you need to be making. By the end of this week, you should well be into having at least, maybe depending on how many of these menu items you have, most of those pages built out. And you might be looking for content, and I'll actually have an item for next week that has content strategies on it. So I'll at least have something on that. Okay, so I think that's enough for today. This is just an attendance post. Reply telling me you understand what I'm laying down here. Do you get what I'm trying to explain to you? And if you have any questions, right? It'd be fine to post them here as long as you're thinking ahead about what you need to accomplish this week, getting help, and then the end of the semester. Okay? And DevFest. Lots to go. Have a good one. Bye.